The women's slaughter. The Alexandria serial killings of 1920. It was mid-January 1920 when Mrs. Zainab Hassan, nearly 40 years old, filed a report with the Alexandria police about the disappearance of her 25-year-old daughter, Nadla Abu al-Layl. This was the first report that would mark the beginning of what became known as the women's slaughter, thrusting the issue into the public eye and highlighting the failure of law enforcement. Mrs. Hassan reported that Nadla had vanished 10 days earlier after visiting a woman who had left laundry drying on the rooftops. Nadla's apartment remained untouched, with nothing missing. Mrs. Hassan described her daughter as slim, of average height, adorned with gold bracelets, a silver anklet, and gold earrings. The report ended with a fear that Nadla might have been murdered for her jewelry. On March 16th, a second report reached the chief prosecutor of Alexandria from Mahmoud Morsi, who reported the disappearance of his sister, Zanuba, the wife of Hassan Mohammed Zidane. Remarkably, Mahmoud mentioned the names Riya and Sakina in his account, yet initial suspicions did not fall on them. Mahmoud explained that Zanuba had gone out to buy household supplies, met Sakina and her sister Riya, and went with them to their house but never returned. Before the authorities could fully grasp the seriousness of the situation, another report arrived from a 15-year-old girl named Ibrahim, reporting her mother, Sanoa Aliwa, a 36-year-old bird seller, missing. Once again, Sakina was mentioned as the last person to see the missing woman. Simultaneously, the governor of Alexandria received a report from Hassan al-Shenawi, stating that his wife, Nabawiya Ali, had disappeared 20 days prior. The city was gripped by terror as reports of missing women spread across Alexandria and beyond. The kidnappings continued relentlessly. Another report came from a carpenter named Mohammed Ahmad Ramadan about his 50-year-old wife, Fatima Abdurab, a service supervisor. She had gone out with 54 Egyptian pounds and adorned with 18 gold bracelets, rings, and earrings. Fatima was described as tall, wheat-colored, visually impaired in her right eye, wearing a black dress, a navy blue cloak, and sandals. Soon, additional reports followed. A 13-year-old girl, Kanua Abdu, a 12-year-old Syrian servant girl, Lulu Mersai, who vanished while shopping, and a kerosene seller, Salima Ibrahim al-Faki, living alone. Another complaint came from Khadisha, the Sudanese wife of Ahmed Ali, reporting the disappearance of her daughter, Firdos, adorned with jewelry worth 60 pounds. Investigations traced Firdo's last steps, revealing that Sakina had been the last person seen with her. Sakina had a remarkable ability to deflect suspicion and escape police scrutiny. The authorities were powerless against the mounting reports until divine justice intervened, revealing the perpetrators and ending the wave of terror. The discovery of the crimes. The turning point came on the morning of December 11th, 1920, when police officer Ibrahim Hamdi received a telephone report from a patrol soldier on Abu al-Darda street about a woman's body discovered in the open. The remains were skeletal, with long hair still attached to the skull, dismembered limbs, and a black shawl and a striped sock nearby. A visually impaired man, Ahmed Morsi Abda, later reported discovering human bones while digging in his room for plumbing work. His further excavation revealed a complete body, prompting him to notify the police immediately. Young Lieutenant Hamdi investigated and discovered that the house was rented by Mohammed Ahmed al-Samni, who subleased rooms to several people, including Sakina. The room where the body was found had been rented by Sakina, linking her to the crime. Neighbors testified that she had tried to reclaim the room despite the owner's refusal, citing her previous disruptive behavior. 2 bodies were now accounted for, one in public and one in Sakina. Rented room. As police investigations intensified, more bodies emerged. Riya had manipulated Sakina, who in turn had deceived the police, but fate and time would ultimately expose both. Evidence and confessions. A secret informant, Ahmed al-Barki, noted an unusual incense odor coming from Riya's room, prompting a police search. Beneath a wooden storage bench, officers found a concealed female corpse. The discovery of additional bodies under floor tiles soon followed. Items such as clothing and personal belongings confirmed the victims' identities. Riya initially claimed she did not participate in the killings, but admitted that men used her room to commit murders. She identified two men, Arabi and Ahmed Al-Ghadar, as the killers. Her daughter Badia later provided testimony that corroborated the luring and killings of women in Riya's house. Sakina eventually confessed to her involvement in 17 murders, claiming that Riya had initially involved her for a small sum, after which she received a share of the crimes, compelled by fear of being killed by Abdullah and his associates. Other accused men, including Abdullah al-Hasba, were implicated in the extensive killings. The investigation ultimately revealed the locations of numerous bodies across Alexandria and rented rooms previously occupied by Riya and Sakina. The police recovered multiple artifacts and evidence from the homes of the suspects, confirming their crimes. Trial and prosecution. On May 10, 1921, the trial commenced with the public largely barred from the courtroom due to the intensity of the case. The chief prosecutor described the crimes as among the most horrific in Egyptian history, detailing a network of murder and deception that had spread terror for years. The gang had migrated from Upper Egypt to Beni Suef, then Kafir el-Zayat, eventually establishing murder houses in Alexandria. Riya and Sakina were found to have systematically lured women into their homes, where men would kill them, often in the absence of the sisters. The prosecution traced each step of the investigation, from missing persons reports to the discovery of the bodies and the final confessions, painting a chilling portrait of calculated criminality. The trial revealed the extraordinary cruelty and manipulation behind the women's slaughter, making it one of the darkest chapters in Egypt's criminal history.